Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong in this way.
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Alrighty then.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Gaming Hub. This is episode 140. I'm your host Tyler, saying thank you so much for joining us, and for our last episode, live anyway, on Twitch of 2018. And we'll have one more next week, 141, which, fair warning, when you listen to it, we actually recorded it early. We recorded before we recorded this one. So when you listen to that, we won't be able to tell you too much about our holidays and stuff like that because they won't have happened yet, but we'll get caught up with everybody on that. We just want to make sure we have an episode for you guys next week, and we put together something with all of our awards for the year, everything like that, to wrap up 2018 for next week. So that'll be 141. But anyway, this is 140, and I'm joined, as always, by Graham and Steven. Let's start with Graham. How are you?
I am doing great, and I'm doing great for a reason that a lot of other people are probably doing great. My work is officially finished until the new year. That's right. No more work. Just get to relax. Go and start my Christmas shopping. Well, not start, but do some Christmas shopping. Maybe start. No, not really. Thank goodness for Amazon. But anyways, so yeah, I gotta try and decide if I'm gonna go somewhere for Christmas or I'm just gonna stick around. Other than that, everything is good. Definitely not gonna be having a white Christmas here, unfortunately. But as some of our listeners, they'd be like, "What's a white Christmas?" Because they don't get snow. So that's just me saying my part. How you doing, Steven?
I'm doing good. It's not just the listeners. It's me. I do not live in a place that gets snow for Christmas. But I've had a hell of a week. Let me just tell you. We wrapped up recording last Friday, and I felt like I thought it was just allergies, being allergies what they are and whatnot. And then I wake up Saturday, like, congested again, and then I'm like, wait, this is way worse than just allergies. I have a cold. And then later that day, turns out I also had the flu, and I didn't find that out until like 8 or 9 at night. So that was fun on Saturday into Sunday, eating like toast and like applesauce and bananas and tea, the whole, like the brat diet as they call it, the whole day, trying to like study for finals, and like, do I actually care? Because I do not feel good and I don't want to study. So you know, I ended up getting a little better and doing pretty well in my finals so far. I only have one grade to get back, and I think I did pretty okay in that class, but because I must have kicked a puppy or like something in line. Yeah. The world wasn't done with me yet, because come to find out, Wednesday afternoon, like, or I think it was Wednesday, like my debit card got used for fraudulent charges. So like I was out like $300, and like that wasn't fun, dealing with that. I think the bank said they should be getting the money back pretty quick, and then like as a provisional thing, and then searched it up. But I don't know what I did, but I did not have like a wonderful week. I hardly played any video games. I watched a lot of TV because I was sick, so I didn't feel like doing anything. But the very little games I played was Persona 5 and Madden. So that was my fun week. Tyler, I hope you had a better one than I did.
Well, I did, and you know, when you listed off your menu for being sick, you know, food, it made me wonder, have you ever spent any actual time, like, in a hospital, like, for, you know, more than, like, a day?
No, okay. I don't think I have.
So, when I was a kid, when I was in 5th grade, I had the, great fortune of spending, like, 3 months in a hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, and, that menu that you said just kind of reminded me so much of that, because it's, like, applesauce and, like, popsicles and, like, really runny scrambled eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Toast, bananas, stuff like that, like every single day. So super good times. But luckily that wasn't this past week for me. That was a long time ago. But this past week has been pretty decent. So I played a little bit of Madden like you. We didn't play any Destiny this week, actually. But I got some other gaming in as well. Not just Madden. I actually did play a little bit of Battlefield and trying hard to get back into that. But we'll see how that goes. And I'm looking over the holiday, sales, see if there's anything that really stands out for me that I want to get and try out. But I'll probably play some Life is Strange over the weekend, because I haven't ever played that. So Before we move into all the fun stuff, if you're on Twitch right now, this is our last live Twitch episode of the year, and just want to tell everybody, if you stay with us until the very, very end, you'll have a chance to win something kind of cool. So it's worth it. Stay with us till the end, and you'll be entered in for a fun giveaway. And we'll be doing some others throughout the show as well, because it is our last live on Twitch show of 2018, and it is the last show before Christmas, so we are going to be doing some giveaways there, along with the bigger giveaway that we've been talking about since October. So with that, Steven, what do you have for us?
All right. So I just want to first point out that on top of the normal things you guys can listen to us on, like CastBox, iTunes, all that, you can also find us on Radio Public and Dash Radio. Dash Radio is you can't really search us up, but if you're listening, there's a lot of great shows on there, and we're one of them. But Radio Public is one where you can just like find us like CastBox, and if you're not happy with your podcast listening app, that would be one to maybe check out. On top of that, we are the official podcast of the Xbox Hub. Head on over to the xboxhub.com for all the latest and greatest in Xbox news, reviews, editorials, games, anything in the world of Xbox. Also, we would love to have you join our community. There's a lot of great conversation going on there. The easiest way to do that is to head over to Twitch at TXH Gaming Hub, and from there you can find links to everything. All the Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, email, all of that. Facebook is the Gaming Hub forums. From there you can get links to everything else as well. And we'd love to have you join Facebook and Discord. We talk about a lot of random stuff throughout the week. Arguments on food, movies and TV, music, all of that. Fun arguments, I should say, not heated. But finally, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can at TXH Gaming Hub. There's a lot of great tweets going out there.
All right. And if you'd like to support the community, we'd love to have you do that. There's a couple different ways you can. So Steven mentioned Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub. And if you go there, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch Prime, something to use every single month for whoever you want. If you choose to spend that on us, we'd really appreciate it. It helps the show grow. It helps us do better giveaways and provide better content. So that would be amazing if you did that. If you choose not to spend it on us, please spend it on somebody. Help them grow and achieve their goals. Also, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/gaminghub. And for as little as $5 a month, you're entered into a monthly giveaway for $60 in gift cards to the console of your choice to spend however you'd like to do that. We just did the one for December, last week, guys? And, we're getting a $60 Xbox card ready to send out to the winner there. And for as little as $2 a month, you get not just exclusive content, like Steven punishing himself with, super hot beef jerky, which there's more of that coming.
Yeah, especially I don't have what's it called? Work for a couple weeks, so I'm on vacation. So now I have time where I don't have to go anywhere, and I can just let my stomach be miserable in the privacy of my own home.
Yeah. So stuff like that. We also do bonus episodes. We do some extra Q&A type stuff, getting through some of the questions that we don't have time for on the shows, along with some bonus Patreon exclusive or at least timed exclusive episodes about different topics, stuff like that. So those are the ways to support us. You also get, for as little as $2 a month, one extra guest for our holiday giveaway, and an extra clue every single month in October, November, and December. The December one was posted, this past week, and so if you sign up now, you get all three. And Graham, tell them more about that.
Yes, so you guys are wondering, what will this giveaway be? Well, I'm here to tell you that giveaway will be a Nintendo Switch. That is right, you heard us. A Nintendo Switch we are giving away for this contest. Now, how do you acquire such a thing? Well, I'll tell you. Starting back in episode 127, we started giving out a clue each week. And this clue will direct you towards a person, place, thing, game, console, something related to gaming. Obviously, we are a gaming podcast. Why would we do something else? So the way you would submit your guess using all these clues, you would either go to our Facebook or our Discord page, and you would submit your guess via Google form. And like Tyler said, you get 2 guesses unless you are a patron, which will give you 3 guesses in total. So use those guesses wisely, and best of luck to everyone out there.
All right, thank you, Graham. And this is the final week of that. So we'll have more on that later in the show. So stay with us for that. All right, guys. Let's talk about news this week.
In the news.
You know, I'm kind of surprised. There's actually a couple things for news, given that it's right before Christmas. But we do have a couple things to talk about. So let's start with Xbox. And they have code names, apparently, for the next-gen consoles that they're going to be offering. And those code names are supposedly Anaconda and Lockhart. Lockhart will apparently have specs similar to the current Xbox One X, while the Anaconda will be significantly more powerful, and both will have backwards compatibility with previous Xbox games. So I'm guessing anything on Xbox One, and then whatever's available for backwards compatibility for the 360 and the OG. So, which one are you guys leaning towards getting, and how much do you think they're going to be?
So first, I'd like to point out that that Microsoft really didn't see the jokes that could be made here, especially with the Anaconda. I have a few off the top of my head that I don't think are necessarily show appropriate, but
Just keep it to yourself.
yeah, I will. But no, I definitely gonna get the Anaconda. Like, I have the Xbox One X, so why would I get one that's similar to it? You know, I'm hoping that the Anaconda will be $500. I really hope it's $450, but I think it's probably $500. I think Lockhart will be. It'd be smart to do it at $350. $400 is probably what they will do it at. I think if they go $500-$600, $5 for the Lockhart, $6 for the Anaconda, that's a huge mistake. I really think they need to kind of eat the price here and make up for it with sales on games. But Graham, you might disagree.
Yeah, Graham.
Yeah, well, they might have more expensive ones depending on size of hard drive they're going to offer. But I would say not the base model, but the lowest one for the Anaconda, probably going to be $500. I would say like the One X is. But I'm just really curious how much more powerful is this going to be than the One X? Because the One X is pretty powerful right now. It can do 4K HDR, no problem, stuff like that. So I definitely can't wait to get more information on this. Definitely same as you, Steven. I already have a One X, so why would I get one that's similar to it when I could get one that's more powerful? So basically, I'll get the one that's more powerful, and then I'll get rid of my One S, because I don't need 3, and the last one would just keep getting bumped out, which is okay. They're all powerful systems, and they're good for any game. And as far as it being backwards compatible going forward, that is one thing that Microsoft has been pushing, which I'm glad to see. And I'm hoping for all you PlayStation fans that got lots of PS4 games, that when the PS5 comes out, that it will be backwards compatible. To me, that's a no-brainer. So
believe me, I'm hoping for that too.
Oh yeah, yeah, I bet.
First of all,
for PSVR as well.
First of all, I'll bet you anything we see like the sizzle reel for these consoles at E3 next year. Nothing huge. Just enough to get people talking about them, like we saw with E3 27 or 16. That little sizzle reel talking about the One X, or Scorpio as it was called at that point, right? And get people excited, especially because Sony's not going to be at E3. It's a chance for Xbox to really dominate the conversation. So I think we'll see it there for sure. Yeah. As far as price goes, Steven, I'm with you. I think that the Anaconda, and I'm with you on the name too. Like, I'm not sure how that got through anybody that would say, like, maybe this is not such a good idea. But whatever, it's there. So, they're going to have to deal with all that. But I see that being $500. The key is what the Lockhart's going to be. I think they need it to be $350, $400 at the very, very most. But if they go $500 and $600, they're done already in next gen.
Yeah, for sure.
They need to price this so that people are enticed to switch back. And if they go $500 and $600, this isn't going to do it. Graham, sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say another thing too is they've been talking about Project Scarlet or whatever, or like a streaming only console. So this is making me believe, are there going to be like 3 consoles? Like, you're going to offer a streaming one, they're going to offer like a lower end one, and then a higher end one. So with them having like a lot more time and stuff in E3, they could actually dig deep into each one of these, or maybe Scarlet. My guess is Scarlet's going to come out first because that's one been leaked first and been talked about. So I'm just curious about what it's going to be.
Well, Graham, I think the Scarlet is next gen in general, and the Anaconda and the Lockhart fit within Scarlet. Like they're part of Scarlet. They're part of the Scarlet family. Now, what you said about the streaming only box, or at least the one with no disk drive, at least.
Yeah.
Like that one, I see being part of it as well. They're just not talking about it here. I worry a little bit because I worry that their thinking is going to be, well, we can price that at, say, I don't know, $300 out of the gate, and then that allows us to do $500 and $600 for the other two, and I think that would be disastrous for them. Steven, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's possible that the like Anaconda and Lockhart are like overarching names for a couple of consoles, but I don't know. It's possible they just didn't announce that the diskless one has a name, or it just didn't get leaked, or it might not come out right away, which I think is probably the more possible thing. Like they'll release the two consoles when the new, like when it releases, right? And I guess that's really terrible wording, but like in 2020, the theoretical, like what we kind of think the release is going to be, and then maybe like they'll announce that the diskless one is coming a little bit later.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that. That's actually a good call. I could absolutely see that.
Yeah.
Like doing the holiday release and then like E3 following year-ish, like over the summer.
Yeah.
Release the next one. Yeah, I can see that. 100%. All right. Well, we're on the topic of Xbox. Their first official keyboard and mouse combo is definitely designed to be used on the couch. So we got to see the Razer turret this week and saw some pictures of it and got some information. It does offer wireless connection, and it's definitely designed to sit on your lap while you play. It's available for pre-order now for the super low price of $249.99 American, US dollars, and will ship by March 31st, 2019. So, Steven, how many of these have you pre-ordered so far?
0. But I would if there was more games that I would know that support it that aren't shooters. I don't care about mouse and keyboard for shooters. I want it for like my strategy and RPG games. So I want strategy games to actually come to the Xbox. And without that, there's no reason for me to pre-order. But $249 isn't bad because I have a Razer keyboard. I got it on sale for, I think it was like $80, and so it's regularly $160. It was half off. And I know their mouses are expensive, so $249 is really not bad. Razer keyboards are really, really, really well made, so you're not getting like garbage, and they're just charging like a lot because what's it called? Like it's the first one out, you know.
Sure,
like the Move
right.
controllers for the PlayStation, because of supply and demand, they're $100. Like, come on, those things are not $100. You just can charge $100. But this, based on the track record of Razer, this is going to be a good quality mouse and keyboard. And so if you're looking to get it, like $249 is not the worst. I mean, obviously, if they allow budget stuff, then people are gonna get it for a heck of a lot cheaper. But Razer does do keyboards really well.
Yeah, they do, for sure. I think it's really important to find out whether or not this mouse keyboard combo is going to be compatible with the next gen as well.
Yes, that's good point.
You're putting that out in 2019 with the next gen. You know, they haven't totally announced it yet, but I think everybody agrees it's going to be 2020. If that's not compatible with that, that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be compatible.
I would think so.
If I had to bet, I would bet it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something like Microsoft's been pushing, everything being like compatible going forward. So I don't see them doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would be really nice and definitely intrigue me to get it is if this was compatible with like the Steam Link, because I have one. They've been on sale. They're on sale for like $5 now every time that Steam has a sale. So if you're looking to game on your TV, like
what is
cheap,
the Steam Link?
It's the thing that lets you play your Steam library on your TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like you connect it to the your PC.
Okay, so it wirelessly connects to your PC.
Well, or you can wire it. It's better wired because it.
Okay, hardwire.
But
yeah.
So if it can do both, then $249 is much more like stomachable.
Yeah.
So what would be the benefit of using a Steam Link instead of like going your HDMI out of your laptop, say, or your PC, or your desktop, sorry, into your TV, and just having a mouse and keyboard to control?
It's the same. Like,
It's
you can do
the same?
that. I've done it.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's
thing
just the
is, though,
constraints of some people's setups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like
you know.
my mouse and keyboard are definitely not set up for playing on my lap. So this thing that's designed to play on your lap's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Someone on Twitch said that Steam Link is dead, and while that's true, like you can still get one cheap, and you can still play some old games pretty well on it. Like, it's not as supported anymore, but
Right.
I still like mine.
Sure. All right. So that's that for that. So we for news, that's about it for what we had this week for news. And we didn't want to just leave it there. So with Christmas coming up, especially in our Discord, we have a pretty good conversation going about TV, movies, etc. A lot of the time. So now it's time of year, like we all like to watch Christmas movies, and we all have our favorites. So I wanted to check in with you guys to see what are your favorite Christmas movies, and which ones are you planning on watching? Because I definitely have a tradition on Christmas Eve of what I watch, but I want to find out what it is for you guys.
Okay, so the first one, it's not Christmas until you watch this movie, is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Arguably the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Some people argue otherwise. A lot of people argue for it. But true classic. The Griswolds, like, I will be watching that one. That is number one on my list of Christmas movies to watch. What about you, Steven? You agree?
I'd say I don't watch this one very often. I did buy it like over Thanksgiving, that sale. So I'll try to get it in. There's only a few more days. I haven't actually watched any Christmas movies, and I'm a huge Christmas fan, so I'm slacking. So tomorrow might be a day where I binge like 3 or 4 of them. I know what I want to watch. And that's my favorites are, okay, so I'll give you a few. I love the Jim Carrey How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I know it's kind of hit or miss, but I love that movie. I love A Christmas Carol, the George C. Scott one. I'm sorry, Tyler. I know this is your Christmas Eve tradition movie. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Might be Die Hard, but I'm pretty sure it's George C. Scott. That's a great movie. Tyler reminded me of it last year, and I bought it and watched it, and it was one of the 2 Christmas movies I watched last year. That's another great one. Die Hard is fun to watch. It's a Christmas movie, and because I believe it is. And like the stop motion or like claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie, that's also up on the list. So those are like 3 or 4 of my big Christmas movies that I try to watch every year. And I definitely will be watching the George C. Scott Christmas Carol and How the Grinch Stole Christmas this weekend.
Yeah, so, yeah, you hit on a couple of mine. So, Christmas Eve, I have a tradition of, like, honestly, 4 movies that I watch, like, back to back to back to back. And, and I've seen them all so many times now, I don't have to, like, super pay attention to them. I can just have them on. But those are, Christmas Vacation. Graham's 100% in agreement with you. Like, that's a classic. It's great. It's just funny. It's the best of that series, in my opinion. And it's just super well done. Then we go into A Christmas Carol, the George C. Scott version, which, in my opinion, is miles, by far and away, the best version of A Christmas Carol put to screen.
Definitely agree.
Yep. Then I think the second best version of that is Scrooged with Bill Murray. And I watched that as well. Then I finish it up with, and what we're going to go into this conversation next, with what I absolutely think is a Christmas movie, and that is Die Hard. But before we go into that, there's a couple others I want to see. I don't remember the name of it right now, but the Netflix Christmas movie, the new one.
Yes, the one with Kurt Russell. I'm in agreement. I need to watch that one too.
I do want to watch it. Yep.
Yeah,
I also want to watch
that
The Grinch this holiday season.
Yeah, the new one. I'd like to see that one.
No.
The Jim Carrey one.
The new
Oh, okay.
Grinch didn't get great reviews. I do want to see it,
Oh,
but it
really?
won't be out in time on DVD, and I'm not going to the movie theater to see it. I will watch it next
Yeah.
year though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm scared though, Tyler. I'm worried that you won't like it, and I think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
So, I can admit though a lot of it is because I saw it when I was a child, and I've
Sure.
watched it like every year since. So like my rose tinted glasses here are on.
Yeah.
So
And,
I've never seen the Grinch Jim Carrey movie either.
You both should watch it. It's a great movie. Okay.
So we're
It's
getting comments
entertaining
now.
Okay. But I only mentioned one movie because I thought we were just going to go with the
Oh,
one.
no.
But
Go for
other
it, Graham.
ones would be
Feel
Home
free.
Alone. I think Home Alone is a great Christmas movie. I remember that as a kid, just watching it with my dad. My dad just laughing so hard. I thought he was going to fall off the chair. It's not really that funny for me now, but it's still enjoyable. It was on TV not that long ago, and you just get sucked into it. You got to watch it. So,
So, Graham, were you lucky enough to see Home Alone in theaters?
no, I didn't see it in theater. Probably because I was in Newfoundland, and
Okay.
it's really hard to see anything in theater in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
It's basically
yeah.
you have one film reel for the whole province, and each theater, well, maybe except for maybe the big city in St. John's, but
So, like-
seriously, there's only one reel, and
Yeah.
each theater has like
So, like in
so many weeks.
1990, like Lawrence of Arabia was playing in theaters. You know,
Yeah.
they're probably getting around to Home Alone now.
Probably.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But I actually did. It's one of the first movies I remember seeing as a kid, like Home Alone in theaters. And that, I
Mask is
think,
probably the first
adds
one I
to how much I enjoy that movie and like it. Now, the second one, not so much. It's okay. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's
But the first one, there's just something about. Did you guys see the Macaulay Culkin like thing this week, where he
No.
reenacted some of the stuff from the original Home Alone?
no.
Now that he's like 37. Yeah, there's this thing where I think he did it for Google or something, where he reenacted a lot of the scenes of the original movie. And it's only like a minute and a half long, but it's absolutely worth the watch. It's pretty fun. Like, he gets dressed up in the red sweater and all that stuff, just like, Kevin McAllister back, in the movie. So that's actually pretty fun. I would also like to see A Christmas Story, which I've never seen front to back. Like, I've seen bits of it here and there, but never seen it front to back. And I would like to see that as well. So
Yeah, that's my uncle's favorite Christmas movie, but I do like it, and I'll try to give it a watch. I just don't own it, so I always forget about it. I know it plays for 14
That's
hours
the
straight,
problem.
Christmas Eve into Christmas
Yeah.
Day.
So, all right. So, we're getting some comments in chat now about a couple things. So, I'm getting hit hard for not having seen A Christmas Story. So I apologize. So I will commit to you guys that I will watch it this weekend at some point. I'm sure it's on 30,000 times between now and Tuesday. So I'll get to see it. I commit to you guys that I'll make that happen. But we're getting some comments also about considering Die Hard to be a Christmas movie.
Okay, let me be I'm going to say Die Hard is a Christmas movie as well.
Okay. Why?
So, why? Well, it takes part around Christmas. There's there's Christmas in it. Like, it's a Christmas movie. Yeah, to me, it's not your typical Christmas movie, but I would call it a Christmas movie for sure.
Yeah, the man tries to get
He's
back
coming
with
home
his
for Christmas,
family.
too.
Okay, he's trying to get back with his wife. That's like a Christmas theme. Just because someone tries to steal stuff and causes a giant shootout and action along the way doesn't somehow deter from the fact that it's a Christmas movie. So, Twitch chat, you're wrong.
All right, so let me break this down as to why I think it is. Okay. First of all, John McClane would never be in Los Angeles that day, that moment, if it wasn't Christmas.
Exactly.
So Christmas is a huge part of the setting to begin with. Now, there are themes in the movie that strongly identify with a lot of other Christmas movies. So at the end of the day, does the experience bring John McClane and his family closer together? Yes. Do they celebrate the season a little bit? Yes. Is it a lot of the themes that are in most Christmas movies that we see? Family, the good in people coming out, all that stuff. Because John McClane is not exactly a pure character. He's not exactly a selfless type of hero. He's not. But he acts that way in the movie. And he dresses up one of the guys he kills in a Santa hat and writes "ho ho ho" on his sweater or sweatshirt. So what do you want?
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
That's all you need. No, but in all seriousness, Tyler, I agree 100%. And I'd say like it just uses action to advance the plot instead of like sappy like garbage where they're like, they make a mistake and obviously in real life it's easily fixable. Hey, you misinterpreted like what I said, or you just didn't catch the whole story. You're right. I know that's a lot of romantic movies too, but come on, Christmas and romance go kind of hand in hand together. Especially
if you're watching like the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah. Or any of the Netflix specials, to be honest with you.
Or Lifetime, God forbid.
Yeah. So like it just uses action to advance the plot. It's a Christmas movie. Like you can take Christmas themes like. There's the story. It's in the whole story. I'll say that. I'll say the one like non-Christmas but kind of Christmas movie is the first Harry Potter movie as well. Like there's a good. It feels like half an hour of that movie is set in Christmas time, so it gets counted for me. I don't actually count it as a Christmas movie, but like I do enjoy watching it over Christmas because the Christmas scene in the movie is great. So
how about Lethal Weapon? The first one.
A lot of diehard people say that Lethal Weapon is also a Christmas movie. I think less so, but I can see the same argument.
When you said a diehard fan, do you mean like a diehard fan or a fan of
like
Die Hard as well?
Like a fan of the movie Die Hard.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't even mean a fan of Die Hard. I just meant someone that thinks Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Also tends to think that Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, here's why I go with that. Because when you look at the story of Riggs, the what's the Mel Gibson character in the movie, right? Like he's really down at the beginning of the movie. He's suicidal, to be honest. And that story is ultimately about how the events of that movie take him from being in that place to finding faith and friendship and family and all that stuff. And come out the other side, and at the end, his gift to his partner Danny Glover is the bullet. Remember, wrapped in the bow?
Yes.
That he was going to use? Like, how is that different from a lot of other Christmas movies?
Yeah, just because it's not like the sappy, like Christmas movie, doesn't make it not a Christmas movie. I think that's just a hard-hitting subject.
It's told in a different way. Yeah. But are you going to tell me that back in the 1800s, when A Christmas Carol was told, that wasn't maybe hard hitting?
Oh yeah, same. Yeah.
And now, because time has gone by, right, we see it as a classic Christmas tale. Like the idea of these like terrifying ghosts coming and visiting you, to scare you into actually giving a crap about other people. That today that's embraced as like a story that everybody tells. But back then, I bet it was. So where I'll differ, though, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this, is movies like Krampus, stuff like that. Horror movies in general that are, Bad Santa, too. Horror movies, stuff like that, or like Bad Santa, dark comedy, stuff like that. Are those Christmas movies, or are they just... Is Christmas the vehicle to get the laughs or get the scares?
That's just using Christmas as like the setting and not actually telling Christmas themes, in my opinion. And Die Hard is not the same. You might think it is, but it's not. And Lethal Weapon too.
Graham, thoughts? Can a horror movie be a Christmas movie?
Yeah, why not? If there's Christmas themes and stuff then around it, I think so.
Okay.
Like, it might not have, like, the traditional spirit of Christmas, but that doesn't mean it's not a Christmas movie.
Well, Graham, I know you're a big fan of Krampus because of the Killing Floor
Floor
2.
2, yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
That was Graham's first experience with the Killing Floor 2 was the Christmas themed, stuff that they had, the map and all that stuff with Krampus.
And I
That-
absolutely hated it.
That version of Carol of the Bells, though, was really awesome.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was really good. Graham, was that your least favorite game on the Xbox One?
It might have been. I did not enjoy it whatsoever.
If I put that game in front of you today and said you can play this or you can play Destiny 2 and do the raid beginning to end, which one would you do?
do the raid from beginning to end, would I have to play Killing Floor as long as the raid?
Yeah, because we were in
Yes.
the bathhouse for like 16 hours, so...
I'd probably choose Destiny 2.
All right.
But think now
So-
you could over-level Graham in Destiny 2 and then go do the raid on normal and be perfectly fine. Like,
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
be easy.
Yep.
Not that it was ever that hard, but... Sorry,
That's
Graham.
all right.
Just kidding.
It just wasn't fun for Graham. That's okay. So, all right. So we also talked a little bit about like Christmas TV shows because you see, especially before we got to the point where there's like the the mid-season finale or the fall finale and all that stuff. A lot of TV shows had Christmas themed episodes. So we were talking off air about some of our favorites. So let's share some of those. So I want to throw a couple out to start with. I'm a huge South Park fan. And South Park is well known for Christmas episodes, and they've had some great ones. So, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh, fantastic. You have Christmas in Canada, which is great. What's it called? Red Sleigh Down, which is the one with Santa and Jesus in Iraq, which is fantastic. All of those are great. The Christmas Critters one is great. But I also want to throw out, one of my favorite shows of all time, The West Wing. Has an episode called In Excelsis Deo about one of the staff members, Toby, discovering that a homeless veteran had, passed away, and he kind of goes to, and he kind of cheats, uses the president as a way to get a military funeral for him, and all this stuff on Christmas and all that. And I think it's just it's everything that show does really well, and in one episode, and I think it's fantastic. And it's still like I watched it again last night because we were talking about it, and it's still like brings the feels to you even at this point. Like it's probably the fourth time I've seen it. So what do you guys think? TV shows.
So I'll go here. Though Graham won't steal any of mine. I'll say the Christmas party episode from The Office was absolutely hilarious. When Michael went to the liquor store and got like 18 bottles of vodka and asked the clerk, is like, do you think this is enough to get like 20 people drunk? And the clerk was like, 18 bottles of vodka? I think so. Like that was just what made that show great. That like kind of deadpan or Michael being an idiot. Like that episode was phenomenal. But shout out to The Real Santa from Fresh Off the Boat. That's a really good sitcom. I really enjoyed it. But The Real Santa was just, it was really funny. It kind of took what had been kind of overdone and made it like fresh and interesting. Not to make a pun there, or not really even a pun, but anywho, like that was another good episode. So those are two of my favorite. But yeah, In Excelsis Deo is probably the best Christmas TV episode that I can think of.
Well, one of my favorites, and it's a favorite for a few reasons, but the one is the Simpsons one. And this was actually the first ever Simpsons episode, which was obviously Simpsons. I'm a huge Simpsons fan. Old school Simpsons is really hard to beat. The newer stuff, it's a lot of hit or miss, mostly miss. But the original one where they got their dog, Santa's Little Helper, that is a great Christmas movie or Christmas show. And that's actually one that I wouldn't mind watching again. It's pretty short, so it's not like you're investing a lot of time into it. So that's one that stood out. And another one, I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember it was a Christmas episode. And I probably the hardest I ever laughed watching a TV show. And that was from The Big Bang Theory. Now, I don't know what season it was, but I just remember it just being so funny. And I thought to myself, I'm like, this might be the funniest Christmas episode I've ever seen. So that one sticks out to me. I don't know if other people know it, but yeah, those are great ones. And even other Simpsons ones as well, like for a few seasons, the old school Simpsons ones, lots of Christmas episodes, and those were all great.
And Graham, especially because it was the very first episode of the series.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. One I think we have to call out before we move on is Seinfeld. It's called The Strike, right? Where they celebrate Festivus.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we have to call that one out because that one's pretty iconic as well. And I know we talked about that off air.
Yeah.
And at least I think we all pretty much enjoyed that one. So that one as well. And there's other shows like, Cheers that have had holiday episodes that, I know some people think are great.
Yeah,
Steven?
well, the Thanksgiving episode was not very good, but the Christmas one I've heard is pretty decent. And shout out again to Community, the Claymation episode. I don't remember the name, but it was the Claymation Christmas episode. I think it was like Abed's like messed up Christmas. That was a fantastic episode, Christmas episode.
Yep, agreed. So, all right, so let's wrap up our holiday talk with this. And I wanted to ask you guys about, we've talked about it in various ways over the years on the show, in different ways, but like holiday traditions. So, as we kind of break camp for 2018 and we all go celebrate with family and stuff like that, our community included, like we all have our holiday traditions that we like to celebrate and follow every year. And so I want to find out from you guys, like, what are some of those? What are some of your favorite holiday traditions? And Steve, I want to start with you because we were talking about board games earlier. And how sometimes, board games, like, it has the best intention, and then it turns into somebody gets a little too competitive. And Steven, in your family, who is that?
Well, it's hard to, I can't quite put my finger on it. It's definitely me. And I'm going to end 2018. This will be the last rant I go on in 2018. So buckle up and fasten your seatbelts, boys and girls, because this is about to happen. So I'll just bring up an example, right? So we're playing Outburst. That's the game where like, there's a category. It'd be like 90s TV shows, right? And then there's like 10 of them. ER is on one. Memorize that. There's not, and obviously 9 others. And so you have to like guess, and you're on a team, and the other team is the one like, checking to see which ones you got right. Well, you're supposed to say like if they get it right, like while they're saying it, so people know if they're on the right track or whatever. And that might be just a house rule, but that's the way I've always played it. So, like, I was playing the other day with the family, and they were going, and they weren't doing that. And then, like, they'd be sitting there, and they'd be reading off. They're like, well, these are the ones you didn't get right. And it'd be like types of cheese, and they'd be like mozzarella. I'd be like, I said that. Why were you not paying attention? And I was thinking many, many more things. And I get like I'm a terrible person to play board games with if you're not competitive like me. Like you follow the rules, you play by the rules, house rules must be agreed upon before we start. If we're playing at my house, like if I go to other people's house and you have your own house rules, fine. I do follow those because I'm not a monster. Okay, house rules matter. I'm thinking of you, beer pong. But like it's ridiculous. Like come on. And then we have some other games where they just cheat. They cheat or they don't play correctly, and it's ridiculous, and I get frustrated because I am a very driven person. I like to win, right? I do like to win. So, and I like to win, by a lot. I don't like close victories. Steven, I like crushing my opponent's hopes and dreams.
So, Steven, it's okay, though, to change the rules up a little bit and bend if there's kids playing too, right?
That is where you're wrong, okay? Kids got to learn. Like, if you let them win, that doesn't feel good for them. But, like, when you crush them so many times, you beat them time in and time out. When they finally beat you, that's the best feeling in the world, right? So, if you bend the rules a little bit so they can win, then, that's a hollow victory. Hollow victory. Mic drop.
All right. So, Graham, this makes you, like, crushing your nephew's hopes and dreams for Christmas next week seem tame.
Don't tell me I'm doing that. I'm not doing such a thing.
So, Yeah, so you'll hear it on episode 141 as well, but Graham's nephew, who has, become part of our community on YouTube, leaving comments for Graham's, Let's Play videos on Zelda, saying things like, love you, Uncle Graham, and talking to him about his horse and all that stuff. Graham, did he or did he not say that he was canceling Christmas if you weren't coming to celebrate with him?
That's what I was told. So then it kind of puts me on the spot. Like, do I want to be that person that, hey, you ruined my Christmas? But I don't think it's to that extent. Like, come on now. I know I'm pretty amazing, but I don't think I'm the one's gonna make or break someone's Christmas.
Yeah. So anyway, Graham, sorry. What are some of your favorite holiday traditions, family wise?
Well, funny thing, like you guys think about gifts and family and stuff like that. I think about the food, the homemade food, the cookies, the cheese and meat and crackers, and like just so much good food, and all the meals, like hanging out with family, different times. It doesn't happen as much now, but like growing up, like that was a huge part. Like go to my aunts and uncles, and I had lots of family around and stuff like that. So like on the 22nd, I got a family Christmas party. So I'm looking forward to that. We might play some games or whatever like that, but basically just have some drinks. And another thing too, I like to give everybody a little gift, like nothing really big because it's a lot of family and stuff like that. But a lot of them are like, oh, nobody's got to get anybody any gifts and stuff like that. Like first they did like a name draw, and then they stopped doing that. And they're like, okay, now we only get it for the kids. And then they stopped that. But I'm like, nope, you can't tell me what to do. Like I like giving anybody just a little something because it's nice to receive a little gift like that. As far as that, there's not much other traditions. When I go to Alberta, which I don't think I'm going, but I might go. We go on like horse sleigh rides because they got horses and they put a bale of hay on there and go around and have a good time. So that's what I like about Christmas, being traditional.
I think Tyler will agree. Like I think me and Tyler appreciate getting gifts as well. So hint, hint, Graham. No, I'm just kidding. We love
Your
you.
gift is to hang out with me on Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about that too. Yeah.
I have a gift for you later.
Oh no.
And for those listening, you'll find out in the next week what that gift is.
Another great thing too about gifts tradition is chocolate orange. That's as long as I get one chocolate orange, I had a good Christmas. If I don't get a chocolate orange, that's the worst Christmas ever.
All
Have you got one this year?
Oh, I bought one myself, but eventually I will get one for sure. Saturday, I guarantee you, I will get one.
So what I found is that when you're a little kid and thinking back to those days, like you go to big extended family Christmas, and it's kind of all about you. It's like presents and all this stuff, right? Because everybody gets so excited watching you open stuff. And then when you get older, you realize that all this other stuff happened too. Like, the board games come out, like Steven talked about, and it's like fighting and yelling and, people like Steven like tipping over the board and being like, screw all of you.
Tip the board. That's a sore loser. I just play to win. Okay, and I don't let you trying to cheat your way to victory by changing the rules.
Or Steven winning the game against like the 8-year-old kid and like pointing at him and laughing in his face, being like, wrecked, loser.
Get good.
Yeah, get good, loser. Get good, sad. But
no, that just reminds me, like when I play chess, like I don't let them win. I beat all of them. Like I played a simul against all the kids I had in my class, and I beat all of them. And I wasn't gonna let them win just because they're kids. That's not how I roll. You want to beat me, you better learn how to play.
I agree, though, Steven. I don't like letting them win either.
Mm-hmm. But I remember that stuff as a kid, like watching like all the adults fight over board games because it brings out the worst in people, ironically. But now that I'm an adult, like that's more fun for me, is watching it totally devolve into like a WWE event.
Oh yeah.
So
especially who's involved.
Oh yeah. So now I'm the kind of person, and I do this at work too, honestly, when I'm bored. is I'll kind of stir the pot a little bit just to get people going and get them fired up because that's entertaining for me. So when I get a chance to go to these things, like I'll do that. I'll just stoke the fire a little bit and watch it just evolve into like this total like Royal Rumble event.
So you're the type of person who'll be watching Monopoly and then tell your aunt and be like, "Hey, I saw Grandma palm a 100 from the bank. Heads up there, you know," and then watch that happen. Is that what you do?
Yep. So, and I remember lots of things. Like I had an aunt who, you know, sadly she passed away this year, and I was pretty close to her. But she loved Trivial Pursuit, and like Christmas was like her day. It was like the Super Bowl, you know, for her, and it was like her day to shine. So like throughout the year, she would study all the cards and memorize all the answers, so that when she'd go, she knew them all. And then she'd do this thing where she'd like give the right answer and get the wedge piece, and then she'd like, you know, hold both her hands up and like shake her shoulders and do this little dance. And I remember it was like the freaking best ever.
So, that sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, I love that stuff. Like that stuff to me is what's super entertaining and keeps and makes the memories. Like, and Graham, I'm with you too on the food. Like the food can be amazing sometimes. I think for me, like Thanksgiving is the holiday where I remember food more. But
well, I mean, like snacks, not more like full meals. Just snacks everywhere. Like
so, guys, what's your favorite holiday candy? Because I know like the holiday baking becomes a big deal. So for me, it's the like the peanut butter kisses, the peanut butter cookies with the Hershey's Kiss in them, and then like the chocolate like peanut butter balls.
But I'll tell you, mine's a two-way tie. My mom makes these things called church windows, and basically what it is those like colored marshmallows, the, you know, like the pink, red, yellow, green ones, inside like a chocolate thing, and I don't know what kind of chocolate it is, but they're like bendy a little bit, and I don't know, they're very good. But my and I got some from bendy. One of my I don't know how to describe it. I haven't watched Master Chef in a minute, so I don't have the proper culinary words down. But I did get gifted to me like 6 or 7 pieces of toffee made by one of my students' moms, who makes it really, really, really well. Like I had some last year and they were the greatest, so I'm so happy I got more than I did last year. That's going to be demolished as soon as I open the bag. So I'm saving it for when I'm hungry for a lot of pieces of chocolate, because that stuff is really, really good. Graham, is yours what I think it is?
Yeah, Graham, you don't have a huge sweet tooth, but what's yours?
So mine would be, they're kind of, I guess you call them chocolate peanut butter cups. I remember I was in like, I don't know, school. I don't know what grade it was, and my mom made some, and I think I brought up, and there was like a cookie sale, so probably elementary school, and they were so good, and they were my favorite. And pretty much every year, if I'm around my mom, if she comes up here, or if I go to Newfoundland, she will make a batch just for me, and like put them in a can and give them to me. And like I share, obviously. I'm not that kind of person that like, nope, I'm not gonna share. But yeah, so it's almost worth for me to fly home for Christmas just to get that, but it's a bit pricey, so I'm hoping she was going to come up, but she's not, so this might be a year that I go without. But yeah, that is definitely one of my favorites, and she knows how much I like it, and she makes that for me, so very much appreciate that.
So since we've all kind of revealed ourselves as Scrooges in our own way, and we should all amend our favorite TV Christmas episode to The Strike for Festivus, because we appear to be more and more like Seinfeld characters as we go. Steven, do you like sharing?
I don't. I should, but I really like. I'm like, they gave it to me. I don't want to give it to you. Like one or two, because the thing is, like, I don't mind sharing with 1 or 2 people, but when I share with everybody, it's like, I'd like about half the thing I got, right? And I'll share the other half, but it's like I get 2 pieces and everybody else takes all of it. That's the kind of stuff I don't like. So, yes,
Now,
I know.
You were
shocker.
talking about potentially bringing your PSVR to family Christmas. And
I did, but no, definitely. I barely used it, so I don't want to.
You don't want to share.
I don't want to share. No, but the real
line.
thing is I got like probably like 6 pounds of chocolate in the last 2 days from some of the kids at my school. And I know I shouldn't keep it here because I'll eat it all eventually, and that can't be good for me. But I don't really particularly want to share because it's all really, really, really good stuff. And yeah,
It's too good to share.
exactly. But so I got the chocolate covered macadamia nuts, right? And those are some of my favorites. And there's no way I'm giving them up. But I also got this like chocolate crepe thing. They're like these little individual like wafer size chocolate crepes, and they're delicious. So I don't want to give those up either, even though there's probably a good like 150 of them. So that's what I'll be doing. And I didn't really get to answer the question of what my favorite holiday tradition is because I went on a rant. So that might be my fault, but I do enjoy, having a couple drinks and doing the like the not the gift exchange, but like the white elephant, but not with the funny gifts. It's like $25 gifts. So, you draw numbers and then the first person picks and the next person can steal it or open a new gift.
Yeah.
And that's always fun, especially a couple drinks in, especially if a few people have a couple drinks in, because then it's a loud thing,
Yeah, and for me, like I said, like any activity that tends to bring out the worst in people, I tend to find the most enjoyment in. So, yeah, now that now that we've all identified ourselves as awful people, we'll move on and we'll actually find the Christmas spirit. Our hearts will grow 3 times this day and all that stuff. And we'll be Scrooge on Christmas morning and do this. And that sound, everybody, means it's time to talk about our holiday giveaway. And we do have some news and an announcement to make. So, we actually have a winner to announce. So, guys, it's been 12 weeks since we started this, and we give it a clue every single week. And thank you to everybody who's submitted clues. Really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun for us to do this. But it's time to announce a winner. So we actually had 2 people correctly guess. And the Nintendo Switch can only go to 1 person. So... But we're not, the person who also got it right but got it second, we're not going to leave you empty-handed. You're going to get a $50 gift card for the console of your choice. And that's going to go to J Buzz, who submitted a correct guess, just a little bit too late to be first. So congratulations to you. You had a correct guess, but you weren't quite the first one. So unfortunately, you don't win the prize. Our winner, and this is exciting, this is the biggest giveaway we've ever done. Our winner of a Nintendo Switch, will be reaching out to you in the next day or two to get information to get the shipping and everything down, is Gambler. Gambler submitted the correct guess. And before we announce the correct answer, I do want to read the final clue that we had. So the final clue that we were going to give tonight, if we were still going, is this. You can answer the Call of Duty on this Black Ops mission to search and destroy the enemy on this popular multiplayer map. So again, you can answer the Call of Duty on this Black Ops mission to search and destroy the enemy on this popular multiplayer map. The correct answer, everybody, Steven, was what?
That would be Nuketown.
Yeah, Nuketown from Call of Duty, the most popular map in Call of Duty history, arguably. And when you look back at the clues, you'll kind of see how they all fit. So I thought for sure after the one we announced last week, the clue we announced last week, we were going to get some correct guesses. We did. We got 2 of them. Excuse me. And congratulations to Gambler for getting it correct, being the first
congratulations.
person. You're the winner of a Nintendo Switch console.
Joining the club.
Out to you. Yeah, we're reaching
Welcome
out to you
club.
to get your shipping info and get that off to you. So that's awesome. Congratulations. And thank you to everybody in our community, because without all of your support, whether all you do is subscribe and listen every week, or you take part in the community, or you help support us through Twitch and Patreon, you make all this possible. And you enable us to do giveaways like this. So thank you. You're all awesome. And we look forward to doing more stuff like this in the future. This was a lot of fun. And it's something that, we came up with, Steven, you and I mostly, on a night where, we were probably influenced a little by some beverages.
That's where my best ideas come from.
Yeah,
so.
It was. Like, we came up with the idea and it went from there. So, but congratulations again to Gambler for being the winner of our holiday giveaway. And I think we're seeing already in chat now, like, that's what it was. Like, yeah, it makes sense now. And that's how it often goes. And like I said, this came from, like, when I was a kid, where I grew up in St. Paul. They had a winter carnival, and they'd have a medallion that they hid somewhere in the city, and they'd give a clue every day during the winter carnival about where it was. And it starts super generic and then get super specific at the end. And at the end, when you see where it was, you're like, all that makes total sense. But putting it together is not easy. So congratulations again to Gambler for getting it right.
Yeah. And real quick, if you enjoyed participating in this, you guys thought this was fun, I think we have a couple ideas that we're trying to work out for something similar. Maybe not as big of a prize next time, but some fun stuff like this going forward. So especially going into the new year. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as, the community keeps growing and all this stuff, we'll have something just as good next year or better for Christmas as well. All right. So, Steven, we're not done with giveaways tonight, though. They're saying next year every other podcast is going to rip that off. Well, good luck. Hopefully they do.
They won't do as good a job, though.
If they rip it off, that's like a feather in our cap, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's shows we made it.
Yeah, that's like, hey, you guys had a great idea. We're going to steal that from you. So, like, if next year, if Unlock's doing something like that, or like Podcast Beyond, then you guys can go say, hey, you ripped this off, But anyway, that's it for that. So, Steven, I think we have some questions, but we're not done with giveaways tonight. So, what should we announce? Another one?
Yeah, let's do it right before we go into questions. So our first winner is Riley Clark. You participated in asking questions this month, and so you are a winner of a gift card to your choosing, or to the console of your choice. Yep. So send us a message, and we'll give you your prize.
Fan mail.
But let's go into questions here. First question from Spartan Raider Hater asked, what factors tend to draw you back to a game after having not played it for months or years?
Graham, anything on this?
Okay. Maybe having somebody like talking about it, or somebody like playing it, or being really bored. Because there's a lot of games that I would like to go back to, but I don't know if I will. That's the thing with some of these games with replayability. Like, if you wait long enough and you go back, and you can almost play it like it was for the first time, or you can just approach it differently. So, like, when I think of games like Fallout 3 or something like that, because I know there's so much in that world that I have not discovered. So, like, say if I'm hearing people talk about it, or I see somebody playing it, that might drive me to go back to play a game again.
Yeah. For me, it's probably multiplayer, actually. A lot of the games I go back to years later, I go back to the multiplayer part, like Halo 5 comes to mind. So I've done that. But I've also gone back to games like the original Red Dead, stuff like that, and that's mostly story. BioShock as well. It's the story of it to bring me back. So it's one of those two things. Steven?
Yeah, mine's like, it's boredom mixed with nostalgia. So, like, I'll be bored and be like, why did I stop playing this game? And then I'll be like, I remember having a blast, so I'm gonna go do it, and then I could do it, and then a lot of the times I remember why I stopped playing. Or like a new expansion comes out, like or DLC. That's another reason. But yeah, I mean that's it. So next question from Piracy asks, how do you guys contain excitement for a game that doesn't have a close release date or one at all? And I'll go first here. My answer is just to not think about it. I try to like not really look into anything until the game gets a release date. Because if I know it has a release date or one that's like not very close, then I get excited and I don't want to play anything else because it's not the thing I'm excited for. And then inevitably I'm so excited for so long that the game comes, doesn't live up to expectations, and I'm disappointed. So I try to avoid that by just not thinking about it. Yeah.
And I think the game that got called out here was Cyberpunk, right? So that's one that I know a lot of people are like super looking forward to. I am as well, but for me, there's a couple others like Skull and Bones. I just can't wait to get my hands on that. So I'm with you. I just don't want to see a whole lot about it until I know exactly when it's coming, and we're hoping it's next fall. Also, like Halo Infinite, we got some news about that this week, but
you can't forget about Graham's favorite game, Death Stranding.
Yep, Death Stranding. I know Graham's hanging like edge of his seat every year to see a few more, cutscenes from that.
Yeah, bizarre trailers that have no idea what's going on. So how I contain my excitement is to get angry that they keep showing this when it's nowhere near being done, and they're like, we don't have anything, we don't know when it's coming, but we're going to tease you on this that you have no idea what it is. So that's like, I'm sick of it. I don't want to see it. I really don't. I know it's going to be great when it gets here, but there's so much other great stuff that I don't want to be wasting my time and energy thinking about this, which could even be completely changed and overhauled or delayed. So no, I don't care. That's how I contain my excitement. By not caring.
All right, what's next?
Good answer. Let's go, Blake. He asks, who is someone you admire in the gaming industry or even the gaming journalism industry?
All right, so I'll go. For me, like in the gaming industry, I really admire somebody like Phil Spencer. Honestly, I think he has done a phenomenal job bringing Xbox back from the brink. I think he has just really righted the ship in so many different ways, not just in terms of the games that they're going to be offering in the future, but how they're approaching things like diversity within gaming. Like he had a talk at the DICE Summit this year about that I thought was fantastic, and really, kind of leading their commitment towards things like making games accessible for people with disabilities, stuff like that. So it's like an all-encompassing thing that Xbox is doing under his leadership that I think is fantastic and is a really big departure from what they wanted to do before, which was a lot of TV and Kinect and all that garbage. So I think they have a clear vision now, and I think they're heading in the right direction with him. So if I had to say for a journalist, though, Jason Schreier from Kotaku, love him, and Ryan McCaffrey from IGN. IGN is what it is. I think IGN hires a lot of personalities now, and it's not like they're bad at what they do, but I think they're more personalities than journalists, and I think Ryan McCaffrey is one of the exceptions to that. I think he is really, really good at what he does. Graham?
So for me, I'm going to choose the creator of The Legend of Zelda, because right from the get-go, that was an amazing game. The dungeons that they created and stuff like that, I think it's some of the best experiences I've ever had gaming-wise. And with Breath of the Wild, it just got even better. So that is someone I definitely admire, how much they put their heart and soul into it. Like they don't leave anything on the table when they approach these games. And I just love how passionate they are and stuff like that. So I definitely admire. There's actually two of them. If you want to know their names, it's Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka. So
awesome.
They're definitely amazing people, and I can't wait for the next iteration of Legend of Zelda, to be honest with you.
All right. Steven?
Well, you stole my answers, both of them. You couldn't just pick one. You had to take both. Mine's Phil Spencer and Jason Schreier. But Jason Schreier is like probably the highest. I think his journalism is fantastic. But I'll also throw Tim Rogers in there. Tim Rogers, I don't even know if I'd call him a journalist per se, but his personality in Kotaku, I love his personality. He's very funny. His videos, like they have that dry sense of humor, but it's still very enjoyable. But yeah, no, Jason Schreier's amazing. His book's really good. We did an episode this year on the book if you want to listen to that. But I do recommend picking up the book and reading it for yourself. Very easy read, very quick. You can read like a chapter, which is about the separate games a night, and be done in a week. It's not a hard read. It's awesome to learn though. If you are interested in gaming at all, like it's a book well worth picking up. I'm excited for the second one. I really hope it comes soon. But yeah, he's definitely my number one.
The cool thing, Steven, about that book too is that each chapter is like its own story, right? So there's no cliffhangers. Like you finish a chapter and it's like, cool, I'm done with this. I can go to sleep now, you know?
Yes.
And it's just great. Every chapter is so well put together and done. And kudos to him. And he's got another one coming.
All right. Let's go Casey next. He said, is cheesecake a pie or a cake? I'll go first. By definition, it's pie. So, yeah.
Why is the word cake in it then?
Well, I don't know, but by definition...
Yeah, I'd have to go...
I don't think it rises, so I don't think it's a cake. It's a pie.
I'd have to go pie here. It is phenomenal, though.
Oh, I love cheesecake.
Yep. It's really, really good. And but I'd have to agree. It's definitely more of a pie.
I'll go with pie as well.
I don't think of cheesecake as a Christmas thing, because I can eat cheesecake whenever the mood strikes.
And cheesecake is delicious.
But deep dish pizza is not a casserole or a pie. It's a pizza.
All right.
Just throwing that out there to end the year on the right note.
Let's do one more. Tony said, what was the first gaming system you guys got for Christmas?
Okay. It was the NES for sure. I remember getting it. I don't know how old I was. It's definitely one of my younger memories. I'm guessing I got it from both my brothers and both my sisters. They were living in Ontario at the time, and I don't know if either one of them came over for Christmas. I'm guessing one of them came over for Christmas and bought it in Ontario. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know what Nintendo was. I didn't know like anything about it, and I remember just opening it and playing like Duck Hunt. It came with Duck Hunt and Super Mario. And I played the crap out of that system. And my parents even like played it, and I remember them like holding the controller, and like when they're trying to get Mario jump, they're like jumping up with the controller. I'm like, that's not invented yet. We don't have motion controls. I gotta wait for the Wii. But no, they were coming up with. If only I was smart enough as a kid. I'm like, that's actually a cool idea if they could just move the controller and make them jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was the NES. I can remember getting a lot of gaming systems or like peripherals during Christmas, but that was definitely the first one.
Yeah, for me, Graham, is the NES as well. I remember getting I want to say the bundle had Duck Hunt and Mario in it.
Yeah.
And it had the gun and all that stuff, right? So that was fantastic. It was a lot of fun, and I remember, a lot of good memories from that, just as a little kid from that Christmas. And a lot of the gaming gifts I get now are more like gift cards. Like I get like $50 Xbox cards or something like that, or $25 ones. But there's something special about actually getting the stuff like that, like the console, and being able to open it up, plug it in, and start playing Christmas morning as a kid, and that's really cool. Steven?
Yeah, my first gaming system wasn't the console. It was actually a handheld, and that was the Game Boy Advance. And it came with, or my parents bought it was a Rocket Power game. It was like a platformer, like action platformer game that was pretty fun. Because I was a big Rocket Power fan when I was a kid. But my first console was a GameCube. I'm a bit younger than these old fogies here. But so yeah, the GameCube was that, and the game I got with that one was Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, and I played the crap out of both those games on their respective systems. So
yeah,
but yeah, I didn't really get into gaming till I was like older either. I was probably like 4th or 5th grade when I first got like my first like handheld, and console was a little later, so like the next year I think.
So, Graham, before we wrap up questions, we did have one thrown out in chat. Like, is that Nintendo bundle the greatest bundle of all time? What do you think?
Oh, Duck Hunt and Mario?
Yep.
You know, arguably it can, because it's just so diverse, right? One is actually a platformer and the other one's like actually shooting. So,
and I think at the time it was only like $100.
Probably. I have no
Something
idea.
like
My like I said, my siblings bought it for us.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, the whole Duck Hunt. Like, I remember with Super Nintendo, they had like the Super Scope, but that didn't come bundled with a platformer. So if you had like Super Mario World and Super Scope 6, then that would be pretty competitive. But no, that's a pretty amazing bundle for sure.
Sure wasn't the Super Scope 5000?
Inside joke, different time. We'll talk about that later. All right, that's going to wrap up questions. If you send an audio question, thank you. We'll get to that the first episode of next year. We are keeping them, so don't think we forgot about you. We'll get to that then. But, guys, I think that's a good note to end on, except, Stephen, we got to do one more giveaway here.
We do.
One more.
And congratulations, Titus. You are also a winner for questions. You submitted one for December, and you won. So send us a message and claim a prize.
All right. Good stuff. So, all right, everybody. We'll have an episode up next week. It'll be our yearly awards, and we talk about a couple other things as well in there. But we won't be broadcasting live on Twitch for that. That'll just be that we actually already recorded it before this one. So we'll have that up for you. So there's something to listen to. And we'll be back live with a new episode 142 the first week of January. But in the meantime, if you'd like to join the community, we'd love to have you do that. You can go to Facebook, the Gaming Hub forums. You can go to Twitch, or TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. And from either of those places, you can get the link to our Discord and join in the conversation there. If you'd like to help support the show, a couple different ways to do that. Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch Prime sub to use every single month. And if you choose to use that on us, we really appreciate it. If not, use it on somebody, help them grow and achieve their goals. We also have Patreon, patreon.com/gaminghub. For as little as $5 a month, you're entering into a monthly giveaway for $60 in gift cards to your favorite console. For as little as $2 a month, you get exclusive content from us. So, all right, guys, it's been a fantastic 2018.
It has.
And we want to thank our community again. I know we get into this a little bit on 141, so we'll leave that for there. But this is it for 141, everybody. We'll be back in or 140. Sorry, we'll be back every week, or we'll be back in early January with 142. Until then, guys, have a great Christmas, everybody, or whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays to everyone.
Yep.
And thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it so much more than you could possibly know. And please be safe on New Year's, and we'll talk to you after that.
Yep. All the best, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy Christmas.